What has your attention as we get closer?
Well, Steve, it seems like this campaign, in Michigan at least, is playing out in two different universes. The candidates are still swarming the state. They are campaigning here as if it were a dead heat. But if you look at our polls, we had the Detroit News WDIV poll out Thursday, or Wednesday rather, that showed a 7.7% lead for Biden here. That has been consistent now for the last several polls. Despite all this campaign, despite all this spending, it has not moved. It still ranges between 7 and 9% in Biden's favor. And yet these candidates are all over Michigan.
Even the internal polls in both campaigns show that the president has been flat for a while, and Biden continues to kind of inch up.
Trump put $2 million in this week in a new ad buy, $100,000 in a new radio buy. They're still grabbing whatever they can.
I think they're trying to stop the bleeding in states where they think that if you get beat too badly, it has an effect down ticket, and they're trying to hold on to the hope that they could get John James elected to the Senate seat that Gary Peters sits in. If they can't do that, I think it complicates their strategy for keeping a majority in the Senate because they've got problems elsewhere. I think that explains some of what we're seeing. If you're Trump, you got to win one of the 3 states you picked off last time, in addition to keeping everything else you had. So why not Michigan?
I wrote today that the Trump campaign believes they've got another Hail Mary in them here, where Democrats put their resources into mail-in balloting and early voting. Republicans have gone heavy on this get out the vote campaign, and they feel like they've got a good effort going and that they could surprise again on Tuesday.
You and I don't agree on a lot of things right now about where the country is or where we're headed. I'm worried about Tuesday and Wednesday and into December. The damage that has been done to our ability to govern together. If Democrats win the presidency and the Senate, there's going to be a real instinct to take revenge on the Republican Party for what it's done, not just over the last 4 years, but over the last 20 years. But that doesn't necessarily get us to a better place in terms of being able to govern the country. And I think the worry is that we're in this seesaw political moment where, somebody's got all the marbles and they're going to do what they want to do. And then the other side gets all the marbles and does what they want to do.
The Republicans are looking at what Democrats did to Donald Trump in terms of not working with him for 1 minute during these 4 years. And they're going to say they're going to dig in and do the same thing. Now, if Democrats get control of the Senate, which
it won't matter.
A very good chance they can do what they want, but just as they did in 2008. But taking that approach where we've got this big agenda for reshaping America, and we're going to push it through because we have the Senate and the White House and the House, they can do that. But that doesn't serve the purpose of uniting this country. And Joe Biden's been out there saying, I'm going to be the president for both Republicans and Democrats, all of America. But if you get in office and you're just going to swap one ideologically driven agenda for another, it is not going to serve the purpose of uniting us. There's going to be backlash, bitterness, pushback.
I care less about unity than I do about governability. We should be distant on some of these issues. There are fundamental issues that we just disagree about, and there are fundamental issues that need addressing in this country that I don't think anyone should back down about. But we do also need to be able to govern the country. That we have big problems that affect us all, that we need common solutions to that are not just going to get undone the next time the other party gets control. And I think this is headed towards something worse at this point than something better.
I would agree. But if we don't start governing from the middle, and if we don't start electing politicians who commit to governing for the middle, we are not going to come together as a country.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden's a great example of that, though. I mean, you saw the primary. This was the centrist candidate among the Democrats. That is center-left politics, what he's espousing. It shouldn't be as much of a threat to Republicans as it is.
Nothing about what Joe Biden is standing on right now is center left. I mean, he is embraced the far left Democratic wish list, pulling back tax and regulatory reforms. This whole
Asking
assault
people to pay taxes is radical.
assault on fossil fuels. Well, and you look at that centrist. I would look at that as far left, and I think that's
That's part of the problem, right?
we've got to come someplace in the middle. But we are out of time, Steve.
Yeah, we are, and we're almost out of time in terms of the election too. 5 more days. I can't wait till it's over.
We'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll know
Yeah.
by next Thursday who won this thing.